I have an easy way to fix the gun violence in America, uh, the drug problem in America, uh, and just about everything else that's wrong with America. If you go back to the 70s, you will see that the kids respected each other, respected their parents, respected the police officers, you know, respected other people's property, and just about everything else. Here comes the 80s. Well, the federal government thought that, well, we didn't have nothing better to do, so we'll get into the parenting business. And sit there and said, well, you're no longer allowed to punish your kids. And now they got into the parenting business. Well, things just went right downhill. Kids started staying out late, started stealing other kids' shoes, their jackets, started carrying guns, started selling dope, yeah, other things like that. Now, you may not believe me, but you can look at the statistics. You can go back and you can look at gun violence, uh, murder, assault, uh, breaking and enterings, uh, things like that from the 70s to the 80s. And you will see when the federal government said that you're no longer allowed to punish your kids, that all those things just went up. Didn't go down, they went up. And you got Walmart, Dick's thinking, well, we'll no longer sell, the assault weapons or the ammo. Well, I'm here to tell you that in the United States alone, there are more guns in private citizens' hands than the whole U.S. military's arsenal. And that's just the way it is. You think you're going to deter a kid from getting a gun, you're crazy. You live in la la land. If they want it, they're going to get it. It's that simple. When I was growing up, I was more fearful of getting in trouble because I knew when I got home, I was going to get an ass whooping from my parents. Okay? When I got in trouble, or when anybody else got in trouble, the officers took them to their parents because they knew that that they would nip it in the bud. Well, these kids today, they're coddled. You give them what they want, because if they don't get what they want, they're either going to steal it, start selling drugs to get it, or do something else to get it. Okay? It's just that simple. I'm not saying all kids, because there are some good kids out there. But most kids that have not is going to wind up getting it. And they're going to get it any way they want to get it. Because they don't have respect for themselves. They don't have respect for their parents. They don't have respect for the police officers or anything else. Because you sit there and you coddle them. Because you think sending a kid to the room to ground them, or putting them in a corner, or going to see a psychiatrist to talk about your problems is going to fix it. It's not. Okay? I don't care what any psychiatrist or, people like that sit there and say, because it's not going to fix it. It's not. The federal government has no rights trying to be a parent. Okay? They don't. You see how it is today when the federal government got into the parenting business. And I guarantee you, once they start messing with that Constitution and the Second Amendment, you're going to let them open up a can of worms that you ain't going to be able to fix. Because they won't start changing one part of the Constitution, will give them rights to change every other thing else in that Constitution. And you can wind up 30, 40 years from now throwing that Constitution into the garbage. And it's that simple. You're not going to fix the gun violence or anything else like that until you start giving the rights back to the parents when their kids make a mistake or get in trouble. Allow the parents to sit there and punish them instead of coddling them. They know once they get in trouble, hey, they got 3 meals a day, free medical, free dental, and a bed to sleep in, okay, when they get in trouble. And it goes back on to the American public to sit there and finance that. When you could have the parents sit there and punish them and give them the right direction in life to be proper citizens of America. That's the way that you fix the gun violence in America and everything else. If you don't, 20, 30 years from now, you're going to regret it. It's that simple.